Today we are going to tell you, teach you, and give you resources about and on Algebra 1. Algebra 1 is a branch of mathematics in which symbols, usually letters of the alphabet, represent numbers or members of a specified set and are used to represent quantities and to express general relationships that holds for all members on the set.
As a branch of mathematics, algebra emerged at the end of the 16th century in Europe with the work of Adventurous. Algebra can essentially be considered as doing computations similar to those of arithmetic, but with non-numerical mathematical objects. However, until the 19th century, algebra consisted essentially of the theory of equations. For example, the fundamental theorem of algebra belongs to the theory of equations and is not nowadays considered as belonging to algebra. It is not possible to give a purely algebraic proof to this theorem, because this proposition involves the notion of real numbers and therefore the notion of a limit, which does not belong to algebra.
Ancient Egyptian algebra dealt mainly with linear equations, while the Babylonians found these equations too elementary and developed mathematics to a higher level than the Egyptians. The Rhind papyrus, also known as the Imes papyrus, is an ancient Egyptian papyrus written in 1650 BC by Ahmes, who transcribed it from earlier work than he dated to between 2000 and 1800 BC. It is the most extensive ancient Egyptian mathematical document known to historians. The Rhind papyrus contains problems where linear equations of the form x plus ax equals b and x plus ax equals bx equals c are solved when a, b, and c are known in x, which is referred to as aha or heap is the unknown. The solutions were possibly but not likely arrived at by using the method of false position or regular falsi, where first a specified or specific value is substituted into the left-hand side of the equation, then the required arithmetic calculations are done. Thirdly, the result is compared to the right-hand side of the equation, and finally the correct answer is found through the use of proportions. In some of the problems, the author checks his solution, thereby writing one of the earliest known simple proofs.
Now it is time to solve some Algebra 1 problems. Pause this episode when each problem comes up while you solve each Algebra 1 problem, and then play this episode again and when you are done with each problem.
We hope you get all those Algebra 1 problems correct. Now you're going to tell more about Algebra 1. It has been suggested that elementary algebra should be taught to students as young as 11 years old, though in recent years it is more common for public lessons to begin at the 8th grade level, 13 years old in the United States. However, in some U.S. schools, algebra is started in 9th grade.
Elementary algebra is the most basic form of algebra. It is taught to students who are presumed to have no knowledge of mathematics beyond the basic principle of arithmetic. In arithmetic, only numbers in the arithmetical operations such as plus, subtraction, multiplication, and division occur. In algebra, numbers are often presented by symbols called variables such as n, x, y, or z.
The roots of algebra can be traced to the ancient Babylonians, who developed an advanced arithmetical system with which they were able to do calculations in an algorithm fashion. The Babylonians developed formulas to calculate solutions for problems typically solved today by using linear equations, quadratic equations, and indeterminate linear equations. By contrast, most Egyptians of this era, as well as Greek and Chinese mathematics in the first millennium BC, usually solve such equations by geometric methods such as those described in the Rhind Mathematical Papyrus, Euclid's Elements, and the 9 chapters on the mathematical art. The geometric work of the Greeks, typified in the Elements, provided the framework for generalizing formulas beyond the solution of particular problems into more general systems of stating and solving equations, although this was not to be related until mathematics developed in medieval Islam. By the time of Plato, Greek mathematics had undergone a drastic change. The Greeks created a geometric algebra where terms were represented by sides of geometric objects, usually lines, that had letters associated with them. Diophantus, 3rd century AD, was an Alexandrian Greek mathematician and the author of a series of books called Arithmetica.
Italian mathematician Girolamo Cardano published the solutions to the cubic and quadratic equations in his 1545 book Ars Magna. Francois Lear's work on new algebra at the close of the 16th century was an important step towards modern algebra. In 1637, René Descartes published La Geometria, inventing analytic geometry and introducing modern algebraic notation. Another key event in the further development of algebra was the general algebraic solution of the cubic and quadratic equations developed in the mid-16th century. The idea of a determinant was developed by Japanese mathematician Sekikura in the 17th century, followed independently by Gottfried Leibniz 10 years later. For the purpose of solving systems of simultaneous linear equations using matrices, Gabriel Cameron also did some work on matrices and determinants in the 18th century.
A polynomial is an expression that is the sum of a finite number of non-zero terms, each term consisting of the product of a constant and a finite number of variables raised to a whole number of powers. For example, x2 plus 2x minus 3 is a polynomial in the single variable x. A polynomial expression is an expression that may be rewritten as a polynomial by using commutatively, associatively, and distributively of addition and multiplication. For example, x minus 1 and x plus 3 is a polynomial expression that, properly speaking, is not a polynomial. A polynomial function is a function that is defined by a polynomial or equivalently by a polynomial expression. The two preceding examples define the same polynomial function. Two important and related problems in algebra are the factorization of polynomials, that is, expressing a given polynomial as a product of other polynomials that cannot be factored any further, and the computation of polynomial greatest common and further, and the computation of polynomial greatest common divisions. The example polynomials above can be factored as x minus 1, x plus 3. A related class of problems is finding algebraic expressions for the roots of a polynomial in a single variable. Now we're going to show you some resources on Algebra 1 that will help you if you are having a hard time with it. mathhelp.com/algebra-1-help. www.algebra/class.com/algebra-1-help. www.mathplanet.com/education/algebra-1. www.ixl.com/math/algebra-1. www.khanacademy.org/math/algebra.
Also, if you're having trouble in Algebra 1, ask your Algebra 1 teacher for help and to stay after school for Algebra 1 tutoring with a group or individual.
You can also ask your parent or guardian to hire you a tutor for help with Algebra 1.
It is important to not stress yourself out over Algebra 1. It can be tricky and hard, but not giving up is the best thing to do. If you really want your high school diploma and to graduate, you will work hard to the best of your ability, and even pushing yourself to work hard will almost guarantee that you will get the Algebra 1 credit to pass the course for your high school diploma and graduation.
Thanks for watching this Adventurous Kids episode.